The Salutatorian for the class of 2013 is Benjamin Branson. Ben is the son of Susan and Alan Branson. He is a member of the Academic Decathlon team, the Beta Club, Government Club, Youth Legislature, Mu Alpha Theta, and National Honor Society. He has earned awards for the highest grade in chemistry, trigonometry, French, pre-calculus, and AP US History, among others. He has achieved the distinction of Star Student, National Merit Finalist, AP Scholar, and AP Scholar with honors. He plans to attend the University of Mississippi. Ladies and gentlemen, Salutatorian of the class of 2013 with a GPA of 99.75, Mr. Benjamin Carter Branson.
Good morning. Thank you, Mr. White. And thank you, teachers, administrators, and counselors for helping us get to this milestone in our lives. Most of all, thank you, families, for supporting us our entire lives. 10,000 hours, that's a lot of time. Since all of you read the summer reading last year, I'm sure you know why this number is significant. And just in case you didn't read the book, Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell, let me help you out. 10,000 hours is the amount of time, on average, it takes to become an expert at any one thing. Just for reference, there are 8,760 hours in a year, and we've been alive approximately 18 years, or 150,000 hours. So I'm sure all of you are experts at 15 things by now. No, that's okay. Being an expert takes a little more than simply having the time. Being an expert, mastering a trade or a sport, takes effort. It takes focus and determination, and most of all, it takes passion. Most of us have heard of Macklemore. Turns out he has other songs besides Thrift Shop. One of them is 10,000 Hours, where he raps about the time he has spent putting into his art. The refrain goes, 10,000 hours felt like 10,000 ants. 10,000 ants, they carry me. Ants are tiny, but an army of ants, 10,000 strong, could do a lot. It's awesome how something so insignificant can turn out to be such a powerful force. Hours of dribbling and drills that Marion Crowder did, or writing and rewriting your music, Lan Tolleson, may seem monotonous, but they're cumulative. What defines your abilities is not what your parents do for a living. It's not what you look like. It's not even your grades or your test scores. What defines you is how you take the resources that you have to overcome any barriers and spend time passionately pursuing the things you really value. Some of us joined the MC swim team in 7th grade with the goal of swimming hard and swimming our best. Over the years of practice and swim meet, we developed another goal, beating Tupelo. As Coach Hall put it, if Tupelo were playing Russia, I'd go for Russia. They beat us meet after meet, year after year, and we wanted to prove that it was possible to beat them. Every year we came closer to that goal, and going into our senior year, we knew it was our year to win. I trained, everyone trained. It was now or never. And at the first meet of the season, we lost to Tupelo. We were shocked. We couldn't understand what had gone wrong to keep us from winning. After the meet, our coach talked to us. He said, "You're closer than you've ever been. We didn't lose by much. Tupelo is not invincible." So we kept that in mind as we practiced for the next few weeks leading up to the North State. When the day came, we swam like we had never swam before. And as we swam the final relays, the feeling of triumph started setting in. This would be the day that Madison Central finally beat Tupelo swim team. Indeed, we beat them by 12 points, a small margin, but all we needed to win. We celebrated, Parker King got an interview. It was great. State meet was next, and we were sure that our success would carry on. We swam all best times, but that wasn't enough. Tupelo ousted us from the top by a mere 6 points. All that hype, all that work, and we didn't win. It was a crushing experience, but it showed me that we had more than a second place banner. We had a team that worked together. We had great experiences and friendships, had met the goals of swimming our best, and loved every minute of it. That's what all those hours of practice and competition earned. Not necessarily recognition, but memories and skills to build a life on. So when I watched the guys' soccer team win the first state championship in the history of our school, I knew that beyond the trophy and the rings, there were collective experiences and brotherhood that they earned. And school is no different. We've been in school for 13 years, 180 days a year, for about 7 hours a day. That works out to be 16,380 hours of school. So how have we spent those hours? We spent them learning our ABCs, the difference between nouns and verbs, and for some reason, how to play the recorder. I spent my middle school years adjusting to switching between 7 classes and selling duct tape wallets, while my friends texted each other on state-of-the-art razors. And after that, Rosa Scott happened. Anyway, we spent our final 4,000 hours at Madison Central High School, the place we had been waiting for since we wore our bus numbers around our necks. We spent numerous hours writing papers, spark-noting Shakespeare, and a few hours going crazy at pep rallies. Perhaps more importantly, we spent many of those high school hours creating friendships that might last a lifetime and discovering more about ourselves in the process. Before we knew it, those 16,380 hours had passed us by. And look where they've gotten us, graduation. Whether you worked really hard or just put the time in to get by, we're all here now. Graduation is a time to celebrate our achievements, but it's also a time to choose. Leaving this building today, do you have the choice between actually living life to the fullest or wondering what might have been? The first step to the expert life is to commit and put the hours in. And that may sound like a simple choice to make, but there will be barriers, some expected and some unforeseen. The only way to overcome them is to keep trying. Put in the hours to become the best. But whether you are going to college or getting a job, you need more than simply hard work to become an expert in your field. All that work needs to be directed. It has to be focused on one thing. In the same song by Macklemore, he says, "The greats weren't great because at birth they could paint. The greats were great because they paint a lot." There's an Avery Brothers song with the lyrics, "Decide what to be and go be it." That's Adam Livingston's senior quote, by the way. So pick a goal and stick with it. Mark Sandifer's goal is to be a space tourism expert. And as long as he stays focused and does all he can to reach that goal, I believe that he can and will be a space tourism expert. So all of you better keep him in mind in case you want a free space ride later. The only way you're ever going to want to do 10,000 hours, though, of anything, is if you love what you're doing. We can be, as Macklemore raps, a generation of kids choosing life over a desk. Put those hours in and look what you get. Nothing you can hold, but everything that is 10,000 hours. Sometimes all that hard work won't earn a medal. Sometimes you just barely lose and have to watch Tupelo beat you at state meet for the 6th time in a row. But what you have gained from all of those hours are experiences, friendships, and skills. You can't hold these rewards, but they'll carry you. They'll carry you when you lose or when you win a state soccer title for the first time in Madison Central history. 10,000 hours is a lot of time. It's a full-time job for 5 years. But if you're really doing what you love and following your dream, it won't seem like a job at all. Being passionate about anything, at least one thing, is essential to living a full life. We have a lot of life to live. So either we have all the time in the world to master something and do what we love, or we have all the time in the world to wonder what we might have been. There are a lot of people interested in so many different things in our class, and they each have the chance to be the expert in your field. And I'm convinced that our class will be awesome if we do what we love. So go for it. In life, each person ultimately is going to do what he or she wants, what they think is best. And for some, short-term pleasure may be more important than long-term gain. YOLO, you know? But there's definitely something to be said for long-term goals. A different take on YOLO, you only live once, for all you social media hermits out there, is that God has given each person one life to use, one time to make something that will add to humanity and make the world better. YOLO shouldn't be an excuse for making poor choices or not doing your homework. It should be a challenge to make something great with your life. When you're learning, practicing, helping others, think YOLO. So, class of 2013, if you remember only one thing from my speech, remember you only live once. Use that life well and do what you love. Thank you.